Hi there, my name is Raquel and thank you for watching my podcast. Thank you to all new and returning viewers. For anyone new, this is not my usual setup. For all returning viewers, you know this isn't my usual setup. This is my craft room. I did tidy it up, or semi-tidy it up. I sorted things out that needed to be sorted out, and I did that on Thursday, as it was a public holiday here in Portugal. And yeah. So now I can maybe start podcasting from here. And I have a little boy, a little Rusty, a little dog, who is wanting some attention, so I'm gonna pick him up. Here he comes. Here he is. He wants on the table, but there's just way too much stuff on the table for him to be able to lie down. As I was sorting things out, I put a whole bunch of stuff on the table that needs further sorting out, and there's stuff over here that needs further sorting out as well, and yeah, and there's a whole closet space that needs further sorting out. But my main goal for clearing out the craft room was emptying out the floor. I needed the floor space to block things. I have a whole pile of stuff that needs blocking, and that was my main goal. Especially now as the weather has turned really warm, high humidity and warm. This room is like a sauna. So if I'm like very shiny, I'm sorry, but I can't help it. It's like really warm in here, even with the door open. I can't have the window open because the cat's around and he might go out the window. We don't want that. So yeah, this is my craft room, and hopefully I'll be podcasting from here from now on. I might change things up and go back to the living room, which is where I usually podcast. And yeah, so I have one finished project to show you, knitting wise, and then I have another finished object to show you. Rusty, are you gonna go to the floor? He's just sitting there almost falling asleep. No, he's gonna stay on the table. Okay. And Mr. Soot has just jumped up on the cabinet. I'm pretty okay with him walking around here now because everything is tidied up. There's no loose yarn except for what's on my table in front of me. The only other thing he can get at is like any dangly bits, like the toys. There, toys. But he seems to be behaving himself, so we'll see. Okay, Dakota, you also want to come say hello? The other dog now wants to say hello. Come here. Up you come. This is the other dog. This is Dakota. And Rusty. Say hello, you two. And then there's a little black kitten walking, like, lying behind me. So, last week I showed you a work in progress, which was the Hohi Locatelli Mystery Cowl, the starting point, a wrap, or a scarf, whatever you want to call it. And I had, I think, just finished clue 3, maybe I'd started clue 4 already, of the first half, because you have to do 2 identical halves to be able to join them together in clue 5. The Mystery Cowl, Dakota, you're going to have to go to the floor. Okay, bye. Go on. Off. No? Okay. So there's the Mystery Cowl started on the 12th of May and finished on the 9th of June. That's when the last clue came out. I only started mine on the 6th of June, but even so, I'm quite happy with how quickly I managed to finish it. It did obviously help that I had 2 days extra to work on. Dakota, no. No, Dakota, you can't go on the table. I'm sorry. Bye. Go. She sees Rusty on the table, so she wants to go on the table as well. Rusty, you're still going to go to the floor. Come on. It's only fair. There. You can lie on the floor. They have pillows to lie on, so they're fine. Anyway, so I was going to show you now there's ends. You might see some ends, some loose ends. They have all been woven in, the majority of them anyway. I just don't like to cut them until I've blocked the piece properly, and then I'll cut them. So this was the first part. Was it? Yeah, this is the first one that I showed you last week, and I think I was up to this ribbing over here. So then I added the lace and the garter lace as well, and then I knit the whole second half of it. And I made a mistake in one of the stripes, which I believe was this stripe here. I should use color 1, and I forgot, and I used color 3, thinking it was color 1. So yeah, all the way over there. And then I did clue 5. And clue 5 goes way faster because you're decreasing 4 stitches per row, or every other row. So there's one side, and there's the other side. Let's see. That's a big cross in the middle. Yeah, so I'm really happy with it. It's quite large. It's going to grow even more. It's garter, so it's going to grow definitely a lot more. I'm not going to really stretch it. I'm just going to lay it out flat and block it that way. And Hohi Locatelli, when she published this, or when she published that she was going to do this mystery cowl, she said we needed 5 colors and that we were going to use the majority of all 5 colors. And that's pretty much true. I think I used the most on color 3, but that's because I made a mistake and I used color 3 instead of color 1 at one point, but that's okay. So yeah, this is what I have left over. I think maybe 100 grams in total, maybe less. I don't have my notebook here to be sure. As you can see, this is a little soot getting into things he shouldn't, as per usual. Yeah. So this is what I have left over. I'm going to update my Ravelry page later today with all the amounts I've used, and I finished that on Friday. So, what are you doing? Yeah. This is why he's not allowed in this room. He gets into things he shouldn't. But luckily all my yarn is like tidied up and there's not really anything he can damage too much, so he's okay. I'll leave him for now. He's now playing with some headphones that I have, which are old and they don't work anymore, so he can chew up the cable. Is not a big issue. Anyway, yesterday, so yeah, I finished the shawl, or the wrap, whatever you want to call it, and then I had intended on doing the open water shawl. I want to say the open water shawl. It's a pattern that is in Making 2 magazine, which I don't have here to show you. But I wasn't liking how it was going. I was using RGO lace yarn, and it just, I don't know, either the yarn was too thin, or I was using needles that were too big for, I was using 4mm needles, which is usually okay, because I usually, with RGO lace, I usually use 4mm needles for shawls, but it just wasn't working out, so I ripped it out. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to show you. So what I decided to do was start a cowl. That is one of the patterns in the latest edition of Knitty magazine, and it's a cowl called Volker. It's by Martina Behm, and it's really, that's Soot walking by in case you didn't figure that one out. It's a really very easy project to make. There's one row of pattern. There's like the cast on and the setup row, and then afterwards it's just one row of patterning to follow throughout the whole pattern. And you can make this cowl as wide, as narrow, as tall, as short as you want. I started this on Friday evening, and I only managed the cast on and the setup row because it was quite late already. And then yesterday I did up to the stitch marker, I'm using Mrs. Robinson's hand-dyed yard Starlight. This is another skein I bought on the 1st of April when she was here at Donna Agulha. And I had originally intended to use this in the wrap by RGO Knitorama, but after I posted some pictures on the group before the mystery cal started, and RGO came and said that it was probably too it wasn't probably ideal for the shawl and to stick with the other color, which I'm happy I did because I really like the shawl the way it turned out. So like I said, this is a seriously simple cowl. This is great TV knitting. You really, once you memorize the only line of patterning you have, you just zip through this like in no time at all. This like 10 rows that I've done this morning was while I was watching a movie before I decided to come in the podcast. And that's what I'm going to continue today. Yesterday I could have done a lot more. I could have basically finished this yesterday, but it was too hot. It was really warm yesterday. Also high humidity factor, and even with the blinds down in the living room, it was just not nice knitting. So I decided to pick up something else because I wasn't gonna waste away the day, just sitting watching TV and doing nothing. So I decided to go through some cross stitch things I had lying around, and I found some little kits that came with magazines that I was never gonna really use or make, and used the floss to do a pattern that I basically created from having seen a painting of sorts that I really liked. And yeah, that's what I did yesterday afternoon. I used to do a lot of cross stitching, and now that I'm more into knitting, cross stitching is seriously slow. I did only this in one afternoon, and when you go see count the stitch count, it's easy when you have like the 10 by 10 squares. It's easy to count how many stitches you have. Compared to just the 10 rows I did this morning, I did way more this morning than I did a whole afternoon yesterday. So here it is. This is my little cross stitch that I made yesterday. It's a little fox, and the painting I saw had more trees in the background, but I decided to use this piece of fabric, so that's what I have space for those two little trees. And I haven't decided really what I'm going to be doing with this yet, but yeah, so that's what I did yesterday, and I think that's what I'm probably going to be doing over the summer if it starts to get way too hot to knit, at least during the day. In the evenings when it gets slightly cooler, you can knit. I mean, it's still warm, but yeah, it's doable. So I have a couple of projects, cross-stitch projects that are close to completion, which I don't know why I never finished them, but I'll pick those first and try finish those. And I also have ideas of starting to spin again. Tour de Fleece is coming up in July. I think it's from the 1st of July to the 23rd of July. I'm not really actively participating. I'm just going to be trying to spin a bit every day. I have I have a braid that I want to finish spinning up. I've got half of it spun up that I did in October last year, and I want to finish the other half so I can start playing them together and have a skein of yarn to play with. So yeah, that's basically it for today. Like I've mentioned throughout the podcast, it's been really warm this last couple of weeks. We had some storm weather on Tuesday morning, thunderstorms and rain, pretty heavy rainfall. And today looks pretty much like that's going to happen again, and that's got to do with the heat and the humidity. There's pretty high humidity here today. So yeah, I'm going to walk the dogs before it starts raining, and I'm going to have some lunch, and I'm going to remove the kitty from this room before he does any serious damage, because I can see he's wanting to play with the curtains, and he's already ruined a set of curtains in my bedroom, which are identical to these. So yeah, I'm gonna have to remove him from here. and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my Sunday. I'm gonna just sit and knit on this because it is, even though it is still quite warm today, it's a bit cooler than yesterday, so I think I can, with the blanks closed today, I think I can knit. If not, I might pick up the higekal and start the cross stitch on the center panel of that, which I've finally determined a pattern for that. So and once I have some of it, I'll show you. Maybe I'll have something for you next week. So yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go. Enjoy your Sunday, or whenever it is you're watching this. I know it's a short episode today, but I have nothing else to add today. I had planned on inserting like a little video of me clearing up the craft room, but I had the computer up on I always forget, on this cabinet here, which is the yarn cabinet, by the way. But yeah, I had the computer up on there, and because it doesn't work on battery anymore, I have to have it hooked up to the socket, and I didn't notice that Soot was playing around while I was cleaning out, and he pulled the cable out because he likes to play with the cable, and I ended up not recording anything, so I don't have anything to insert here at the end. Other than that, it's been a quiet week. It was a short week. It was 3 days. I don't really foresee any, like, a lot of work the coming couple of weeks because it's like holiday season, so a lot of people are on vacation, and yeah, some of my colleagues will also be going on vacation, not all at the same time, so you know, it's just going to be quieter. So yeah, I can't think of anything else to tell you, so I'm gonna let you go. Enjoy the rest of your day or your week, and I'll be back next week, hopefully with some more things to show you. So yeah, bye!